Today we're going to talk about the AUR, the Arch User Repository, which is kind of the main selling point of Arch Linux and Arch Linux-based distributions. We're going to talk about what it is, how to use it, what you need to know about it, and why it's so awesome. So let us get right into it. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the AUR in this video today, the Arch User Repository, and I want to keep this casual. I basically just want to give you an introduction to the AUR so you know what it's about, you know what you can do with it, how you can install packages. I'm going to show you two different ways to do that, and I want to show you why it's so awesome and so powerful. So basically, if you are running an Arch-based distribution, what you usually do to install packages is you run sudo pacman-s followed by the package name, for example, Discord. Now, this of course works if this package is contained in the repositories that are available to Pacman, so in the default repositories, in the main repository, the extra repository, and all the ones that you can enable. But if the software is not available there, you need to find an alternative way. And of course, on Linux, you have things like snaps and flatpaks and app images, and you can use archives and shell scripts, and you can also compile from code or from source and then do everything yourself. But if you want to have a convenient way to do all of this, you can use, at least on Arch-based distributions, the AUR. This is a repository where users maintain packages for other users, which of course, as the disclaimer here also tells us, is also risky because everyone can upload a package and change the code of these so-called package build files. So you need to double check, you need to make sure what is happening, but it's easier than you think for most of these packages. So let us take a look. Let's go to packages here and use the example of Cursor. Now, Cursor is a package that is not available with Pacman, so you cannot just run pacman-s cursor. It won't install anything, at least as of right now. If you want to use Cursor on Linux, what you can do is you can go to the Cursor website, you can download an app image, and you can place it somewhere where you can use it. And then when the next version is published, you can just download that version, replace it, and so on and so forth. But you don't have a package manager, you don't have an easy way to update packages, because with Pacman, what you can do is you can do sudo pacman-syu, and you can update the packages and get the latest versions of all the packages. In this case, this would not be that simple. So what you can do instead is you can go to the AUR and you can install the cursor-bin package to manage Cursor like a package on your system with a package manager also. This is like the second way to do that, which we're going to talk about. But essentially, this is like all the ordinary packages on your system built from source, but you can manage it automatically with a package manager. So how does this work? Basically, you have so-called package build files. So you can click on View Package Build, and what you see here is a small script that explains what is happening with this particular package. And it's actually quite simple, and you can right away see that this is very safe. So what you have in the beginning is some metadata, you have some dependencies, you have some options, some flags essentially. But the interesting line here is the source line. So you can see here source is equal to, and then you have the URL that this is based on. And you can see this points to downloads, cursor.com, production, some hash, and then the app image for Cursor, which means that this whole thing basically just downloads the app image, does the installation, and that's it. And the cool thing is you can go back, you can go to view changes, and you can see what is happening between the different versions. You can go here to commit, for example, or you can go also to diff, and you can see all the things that change are not really changes in terms of some major change of logic here. It's just a different version of the package. So the metadata changes, the name changes, and here also the path changes. So now it's no longer downloading 1.2.1, it's downloading 1.2.2. That's about it, but you basically just download the app image, you place it in the respective directories, and that is what the AUR package does essentially. So this is a repository where you can get all sorts of packages like that. Now, some of them might refer to something different. So Zoom here, for example, what does Zoom do? It goes to Zoom US and downloads the tar.xz files. So in this case, we don't have an app image, but we just take the archive and extract it. But depending on these different setups, you have different ways of installing these packages. The interesting thing is all of this is being updated and managed by the users. So you can see here, if I go back to Cursor, last updated 7th of July. This was 2 days ago. And you can also see first submitted, you can see the votes, you can see the popularity, and if you scroll down, you can also see comments. So the pinned comment is here by the guy that maintains all of that for anyone who wants to contribute, basically a repo. And below you can see latest comments. If there's some error, if there's some problem, you will be able to see it here. You can scroll through the pages, and this can help you to resolve some issues if you encounter some issues very easily here. So the question is, how do I now install these packages from the AUR? There's a complicated way and there's a simple way. Now, complicated not in terms of really complicated, but it's more manual, it's more difficult. And this is documented here in the Arch Wiki. So we're not going to read all of this, but the basic idea is you make the package, you pull the repository, you make the package, you install the package. This is super, super simple. All you have to do is you have to copy the git clone URL. So you just click on it. This is going to copy it. You go to a directory, in my case here, the tutorial directory. And now I'm going to say git clone and this link here, this repository here. And now I have cursor bin. I can go inside of cursor bin. And what I can do here now is I have the package build. So I can just follow the instructions here and I can run, where is it, build the package. I can run make package and provide the respective flags. So I'm going to say make package -si. This is going to sync the dependencies and it's going to install the package as well. I'm not going to run this here now because I already have this on my system, or actually let's try to do this anyway. What this is going to do is it's going to download it. It's going to build everything if necessary. It's going to, I'm going to abort it here. It's going to install all of this and then you have the software on your system. Now, the only thing you actually need to do here is you need to install one package and then you don't have to do this anymore. And this package is called Yay. Yay is yet another yogurt. This is basically an AUR helper. So it's like Pacman, but for AUR packages, and it's super easy to install it. You just do the same thing that we did here. You go to the AUR, you go to packages, you go to Yay, and you just copy this git URL here. You say git clone and this repository, you go to Yay. And once you do that, you just say make package, and then you say -si. This is going to build and install the package. This will install Yay onto your system. In my case, again, I'm going to abort this now. But once you have Yay, everything is much simpler because when you have Yay on your system, you can just say Yay-S, capital S, like with Pacman, and then you can provide a package name. So let's look for a package that I don't have on my system yet. I think, for example, LibreWolf bin. I'm not sure if LibreWolf is available in Pacman. Probably it is, but I'm going to just say LibreWolf-bin. So what this is going to do now is it's going to do everything behind the scenes automatically. So it's going to do the make package. It's going to do all the building and installing and so on. It asks me here if I want to do a clean build or for which packages I want to do a clean build. In my case, I don't really need that. So I'm going to just say none. And it asks me if I want to see the diffs. I don't want to see the diffs. I trust the package. Let's go. And now you can see here that it installs LibreWolf on my system from the AUR. Then it needs to import some key. I can say yes, do that. And it basically builds and installs the entire thing on my system. Now it needs a password for the root privileges. I can allow it to be installed. And there you go. I have LibreWolf on my system. So I can run this now, probably, there you go. I have LibreWolf on my system and it's based on AUR. The coolest thing now, why this is so convenient, is if LibreWolf has an update, if Cursor has an update, if any software here has an update, I can just say Yay-SYU and it will update all the AUR packages and also the Pacman packages. So I don't even have to run sudo pacman-syu. I can just run Yay-SYU and it will also update the Pacman packages. So that is super convenient and it allows us to use basically any piece of software in that way. I don't have to download anything from a website. I don't have to use app images. I don't have to, at least I don't have to download them manually. I don't have to use Flatpak. I don't have to use Snap. I either use Pacman or I use packages from the AUR. Again, make sure when you're installing a package, make sure you know here, or you take a look at the package build and you see, okay, what is this actually? What does it actually do? Sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. So here, what does it do? It gets the source from GitLab, so it has here a custom Git repository. Maybe you want to take a look at that before you trust it. Sometimes you will have to take a look at the source code and see what exactly is happening to make sure you don't have some malware. But in this case here, you have a lot of votes, you have here a lot of comments, so you probably don't have any issues here. If there are, maybe you actually do have some issues. I don't know, I didn't read the comments, so I'm gonna also delete the package here by saying yay-rs and then LibreWolf bin, because I don't need this browser, at least right now. I'm not interested in that. But if you want to install a package, make sure you take a look at that. Don't just install things blindly, especially if they're not super popular. But yeah, this is the basic idea behind the AUR. You can install packages manually. You can just build them from source and install them, or you can keep them up to date and manage them with Yay, which is in my case, the preferred way. It's super convenient because I have yet to encounter a package that I cannot install either with Basic Pacman, with the additional repositories, or with the AUR with the help of Yay. So that's it for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it and hope you learned something. If you want to see more Arch Linux content, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to see more Linux content in general, let me know in the comment section down below. If you don't like these videos, also let me know in the comment section down below so I can do something else. And besides that, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to not miss a single future video for free. Other than that, thank you much for watching, see you in the next video, and bye.